Okay, beloveds, peace and blessings to you. I don't think this sound is going to come in the way that I would like. I may need to come up with an alternate way of doing this thing. But as it is, I am Oracle Deborah with the Oracle Deborah podcast. Thank you for stopping by. I really apologize for the sound. I've tried, I have a huge mic here. The sound was no better, and I switched to plugging in directly into the laptop, and I don't think the sound is any better either. So I do have somewhat of a cracky voice, if you will, but I will try and just get through what I want to say very quickly, and hopefully it will come out right. So welcome again to the Oracle Deborah podcast on YouTube. I appreciate you very much. Please like, share, and subscribe. I do need to grow the channel, and I do need your help. And if anyone has any suggestions as to why my recording is coming through like this, that would be great. I have literally stopped being a techie because it was just too much, too fast, too soon, too much turnover, too much changes. I got bored with it. I like to learn something and master it. I didn't get time to master one thing before they were putting out something else. They're still doing it this way, but that's probably why I'm getting a little bit um, weird, I guess, for lack of a better way of putting it, with the tech side of things. I'm normally very techy, but not so much these days. Okay, so um, this is literally the 10th recording I've tried. So, and I actually had a lot to say, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get through it, especially with the sound coming in, the audio coming in the way that it is. But I do want to welcome again to the Oracle Deborah podcast. I want to also give a shout out to the podcaster named Dash. I think it's Dash. And she's very encouraging for us stage women to get out here and let our voices be heard. We are entering the age of Aquarius. We may be into it, like maybe at the precipice of it. And actually, I learned that age actually started in the 60s, and that makes sense because there was the group, I can't think of the name of the group, but they came out with that, or maybe it was the 70s. They came out with the song, We're in the Age of Aquarius, right? I can't think of the name of the group, but that makes sense. And I resonated even as a very young girl, little girl at that time, with that song. But that makes sense why did not um, I did not click with the energy of the Piscean age, and it makes all the sense to me. At least today it does, right? Truths change when other information is added into the mix. So, as of right now, my truth is that there was a sense of not belonging because I couldn't get with the illusions and the disillusions and the delusional stuff and the drugs that put people in those states, you know. Um, so yeah, we are in the age of Aquarius, at least at the precipice of it. And I'm guessing since I want to say these errors run 200 some odd years. I have to check my notes. Maybe longer. Maybe these stages are longer. I'm not sure. But that makes sense that, 50 years would go by. We're just starting to really see uh, the outpouring, if you will, of information, things coming to light, truth finally being brought to the masses, things that pockets of people knew, remnants of people knew, talked about, and it just wasn't getting traction. Those things are now getting traction. It's so refreshing and it's so liberating, at least for me. And I know for a lot of us, it's just so liberating. And even those who were in the mix of that Piscean age, they look back and they're like, yo, like this thing has just gotten too dysfunctional. It's just too much, and I'm thinking specifically about the music industry, the movie industry, where things had just, it was bad for me back in um, the late 80s. It was bad for me then. And that was pretty much when I started checking out. And so 30 some odd years later, people are just starting to say, this is too much. So here we are. And I'm very excited, like I said, to be here. It's really an exciting time because a lot of history is being made. So I really think we should embrace this moment and tap into our inner power, our higher self, and take part and be intentional about co-creating the world we really do want to see and live in and how we want it to play out. We have the power to do that. And it just so happens that today is a new moon in Scorpio. And Scorpio is all about death, life, and rebirth. Right? So, and setting the intention, as a new moon, setting those intentions. So, yeah, I would definitely encourage us to be more intentional about what we want to see in the world, who we want to be, and what we want to see in the world. The goodness, the juiciness, as I like to say, and set those intentions, and then let's see how it plays out for you. I know for me, I am seeing definitely good remnants of the work that I have put in. I should say good remnants, that's not the right word. Good results of the intentions that I have set and have been dedicated to and have been focused on and have been committed to. And I like it. It's not perfect, but that just means that I have to continue to do the work. So there you have it. I am a wisdom intuitive. I am a Reiki teacher master. I dabble in tarot, astrology, very little in numerology, but I definitely dabble into that as well. I have a lot of fire in my chart, though in Western astrology, I am an earth sign, but I have quite a bit of fire in my rising and moon sign. I am an entrepreneur by trade, essentially. I am an entrepreneur, and I like to get in, start a project, see it through to its completion in terms of its running smoothly, and then I move on. I don't necessarily like the moving on piece. I would like to stick around, sometimes, to, partake of the fruits of my labor, but it's just, it's just how I operate. So, but sometimes the universe will have me kind of sit tight and see things through for whatever reason. And so I do that. Sometimes it ends very bad. Sometimes it doesn't. So it just is the way that it is. Now, in terms of what's going on out in the world, there's a lot. I feel like tonight or today was a busy day. I was out on the road all day today, and there was just traffic everywhere. And it really was a testing of my patience because I know my little town here, and there was just a ton of Saturday traffic. And I just think people were taking advantage of the nice weather. And I don't know, I've never seen it that busy on this Saturday, but maybe I'm not out there like that. Technically, I am out there like that. I've never seen it that busy on a Saturday. But tonight is very calm. I think people are steadily there, having past dinner time. It's almost 10 o'clock now. But, they're doing their thing, going out. And so things seem a little more quieter and settled right now. So let's see. Oh, but what I was saying, there's a lot going on in the world. Touched on that a little bit, music industry, Hollywood, however you want to call it. Politics, the election, you know, the results and what's going on with the election is taking twists and turns like every 5 minutes. The more they double down and get in their last campaigning, it's just flipping back and forth. So yeah, so just you know, just be intentional. There's a lot in terms of also with this Aquarian age. I've always said this, and I taught my son this, but I don't remember teaching him this. But at some point, years ago, I said to him, at some point, you have to get off the fence. You have to pick a side. And for those who are in the Bible, I know the Bible talks about, there will be, at some point you're going to have to choose a side, which side you're going to be on, wheat or the, I don't know if it's the wheat or tear or the sheep and the wolves, or I don't know how, I don't know what language it was anymore. But the point is, you do need to get off the fence. And I think this is the age where people are forced to get off the fence. They can no longer hide in a closet and, pretend like that anymore. People are feeling really empowered now, bolder, or whatever the energy that's going out there and supporting this Aquarian age. People are getting off the fence and they are showing who they are. And we really should be happy about that because we've been hoodwinked and bamboozled long enough, you know. And as Malcolm X says, and or said, and so we should be grateful that our what we knew all along is being confirmed, you know. And I just think that's a good thing for us as FBAs. It's an excellent thing. So when I see, I don't know if any of you all are seeing this clear pattern going on with the people who are coming out to support uh, the Harris Waltz ticket. I won't say her name. I just can't. It's just too weird. Not her name, but it's just all the energy around her name. I'm not gonna do it. But if you notice, these are all the people who are speculatively involved in the Diddy affairs, Diddy tapes, you know? So, but speculatively, allegedly, these are all the people that are coming out saying, rah, 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 Harris. So I just don't know if anybody else is seeing this pattern, but I'm very good at picking up patterns, and that is a pattern to me. So that's a telltale sign for me. Yeah, it is what it is. All right. But the whole point, like I said, I'm an entrepreneur, and in this podcast, I will talk about a wide variety of topics, including a little bit of politics. But my ultimate goal is to be positive, be insightful, and to bring value to this content. Okay, those are my goals. Now, I also wrote down here reminders. Okay, I'm shifting gears a little bit right now because considering everything that's going on, everything that projected to may happen, it might be a peaceful transition, however it goes. But if not, I just think these are some things we should just be doing every day anyway, and particularly maybe ramping up right about now, just in case. Okay, because we don't know. Nobody knows. I'm sure some people know, but not the masses. All right, so prepping. Start prepping for food if you're not already doing that. I know a lot of us are really good at that, but prices are so high and things have been so weird. Honestly, since 2008, the financial crisis. Honestly, I will put myself in that category. I've yet to recover from that. I've yet to recover from the 2008 financial crisis. So if you found that it's been, really difficult for you to prep, I understand. Just get a few things, get a list and get a few things. Buy one extra thing or two extra things when you go to the grocery store and stock that away. Do it that way. I find that to be very helpful, especially if you're shopping every week. you know, and you might buy an extra 1 or 2 cans of vegetables or canned fruit or ramen noodles, you know, something that will add to your storehouse. Okay, because we know in the church there is no storehouse. We know that. Okay, so we have to create our own storehouse. Number 2, eat well. Eat more greens. Eat more whole food. Um, Work on getting plenty of good rest, because that's going to be really important. Drinking water, if using your water with a lemon, is my favorite, but you can infuse it with fruit and even cucumbers is a good one. Get your fruits from a farmer's market. I know it's on this side on the East Coast, it's getting cold now. So I think the second option is maybe to get a membership to Sam's Club or Costco or BJ's, because I think maybe their fruits are a little fresher than the average supermarket. And even if you go to um, a veganish type of supermarket, the fruits are really expensive. So you might be able to balance that cost out by by getting a membership, going to one of these other, you know, larger places. Number 3, don't worry. Don't worry about what's going to happen, because what's going to happen is going to happen, and you are covered, and we are protected. And, you know, to tell you the truth, for anyone to wish a complete downfall, you know, I just don't think it's going to be a complete downfall. It could be a World War III, but there's no point in worrying. We're not going to get anywhere with that. The only thing we can do is action. Action is the remedy to fear and worry. So do something. If you have not done your estate documents, your estate planning documents, get those things done. You may need a safety deposit box to put those papers in. You, um, you know, just do something, action-wise. I'm putting a list together of all of my passwords because there's so many apps, so many stores that want you to have passwords. You know, we're buying stocks online through apps. I mean, really, we need a list of these things and have them in safekeeping. Um, so just do something in preparation, okay? But definitely don't worry. Don't worry. When you start to worry, just remember that you know, you don't lose. You know, we don't lose. We don't lose, and we don't lose money, and um, we will be fine. And if the anxiety is still there, take some action. Take one thing. Write a to-do list. Write all the things you would like to do that you don't generally have time to do, and chip away at it. 5, 10 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day. You know, really, if we start uh, writing down, we have 24 hours in a day. I know we hear this all the time, but sometimes some of the things we need to do only takes 4 or 5 minutes, you know? So once you start writing it down, it's like, oh, it's only 5 minutes of my time. I can do that. I can sacrifice that. Do that. You know, start breaking down your time that way. Um, I talked about the music and movie industries and other industries, um, banks, corporations. They're all being purged and purified. If you're hearing all these, like Pepsi is laying off workers, like Pepsi, you know, you expect to never hear of a Pepsi laying off. But a lot of these corporations, excuse me, they fared so well during COVID. There's no more money coming through. So they're having to take a hit. And if they're taking a hit, you can only imagine how a small business folks are doing. But not everybody is doing bad. That's the other thing about going back to not worrying. There are a lot of people who are faring well, who are thriving in all of these challenging environments. Know that there is a lot of people who are flourishing in these environments. So why not uh, allow that flourishing to take place in our own lives. Okay, so look at it that way. All right. So let's see. There's a purging and a purification going on. We have pushed our morals to the brink of almost despair, like literally. We have really pushed the envelope to the point, like I said, people are saying this is just too much. You know, we this has gone too far. And people are starting to roll back a bit and enact some back. And I think that's a good thing. So it's time for a reset, basically. We talked about politics, so same thing for politics. There's a purge and purification going on there. We are starting to see things very clearly now. Honestly, if you watch an old interview of Trump on Oprah, or all the things he said then about this country and the economy and what he would do if he were president, he's saying these things now. Like his vision has never changed, his resolve has never changed. You got to give credence to someone who has been saying the same thing for over 30, 40 years. You've got to give them credence, and it still applies. The Honorable, who was it who said this? Farrakhan. Farrakhan said this. I thought this was a great thing. Someone said to him, Farrakhan's been saying the same thing for over 30 years. And I thought, I mean, that's an interesting. I thought, like, wow, that's very poignant, very interesting, it's very true. And I was wondering, I was interested in how he would respond to that. And true to Farrakhan, he said, if I've been saying these things for over 30 years, that means that there's still work to be done. So I will continue with the same message until it's no longer needed. I mean, how clever can you be? Like, there is no better comeback than that. So, same thing. Um, I'm not comparing Donald Trump or, putting them in the same category, anything like that. I'm just saying this message has been the same for over 30 years and it still applies. So I just wanted to use that example with Farrakhan about why that's such a poignant thing to take note of. People are being outed and people are outing themselves. Again, they themselves are coming off the fence and choosing sides, and we are seeing them. And I want to say men are doing this and women, but you're seeing an influx of men telling us who they are and telling us what side they are on. And I think it's a great thing. Men are saying we want our voices back. We haven't been heard. We've been ignored. Um, we've been silenced, so to speak, and they've been operating on their own code in their own way. But they're like, oh, we want our voices heard. Even at the men's conference, summit, whatever, with D.L. Hughley, crazy as it is for some of us, these men would get up there and say the things that they have said, and that they are saying their truth, and we need to accept their truth. And it's a good thing. I promise you, it's a good thing. We want people to come off the fence, to come out of hiding, to come out of the closet and show us who they are. And women, it is our turn to sit back and do the listening. The listening is very powerful for us. It is empowering us. It is giving us leverage. Okay? It is helping us. And while it's helping us, it's giving the men an opportunity to speak their truth. We just have to accept it. And a lot of us are and have been accepting it. But it's a good thing they want to speak now. Let them. We get to do the wonderful thing of sitting back and listening. I also want to say it helps us hear better. It helps us respond better. Again, it empowers us. Again, it gives us leverage for your highest and best good. That's the key. This is leverage for your highest and best good. It's a win-win all the way around. All the way around, it's a win-win. So let the men speak. Let them get what they want to say out. We're not going to like it. It's going to appall some of us. We're going to be in a state of shock. Fine, but let them speak. Let them reveal their truth. So we know, so that we will know. And not project onto them how things should be. No, everything has been all wonky for so long. Let them speak. Okay. This is the beauty of duality. If there's only one person speaking all the time and one person listening all the time, and people have to make alternate moves and do alternate things so that they can be heard and feel like they're valued, or just whatever, just want to be heard, or no matter how weird it might sound or crude it might sound. Listen, this is the balance of polarity. Give me a second, I need to take it. While taking a drink. Please like, share, and subscribe for me. Help me grow this beautiful channel. All right. So while we're in the conversation of listening, I wanted to bring up the point of how important it is that I'm learning to transmute communication to conversation. And even when I say conversation, it's such a raw nerve with me because it's been so overused in business. And I feel like when people used it in business, I don't know, it felt disingenuous, but it does have its role. And it is, conversating is much better than just communicating. And I know because I spent my life, I won't say perfecting, but mastering communication, mastering being an effective communicator. And when you're focused on communicating, what are we focusing on? What it is I know and what it is what that I know that I need to tell you. It's always about pushing information out. And it doesn't promote listening. And conversation promotes listening. So this is why, this is a huge focal point for me right now, is transmuting this focus from communication to more towards conversation. Conversing is more engaging, okay? And it is better to work on conversating than it is on communicating. You even hear the difference in the energy of both those words. The one downfall in our community I have listed here is also our greatest strength. I guess I'm on to the next topic. And our greatest strength is our culture. And the world has spent billions of dollars studying us, studying how we spend, studying our way, our music, our dress, our talk, everything, and appropriating all these things and getting rich off of it. And, it's just so damn cool. We are such a cool people. The downfall in being so cool is that if one of us end up acting a certain way or saying a certain thing or dressing a certain way, or I give the example when I was young, you're in school and you were eager to learn, but it wasn't a cool thing to be smart in the classroom. then you pretty much dumbed yourself down for the sake of getting along. Not all of us, but too many of us. Okay, I know there's a few remnant of the guys out there who's like, that was never me. That's great. I'm really happy for you. But it was me. It was a lot of us, dumbing down for the sake of, being cool, if you will. Smoking was a cool thing. Smoking is one of the most hazardous things you can do to your lungs, to your body. But it was cool at that point. Drinking, okay? Testing out certain drugs. So there's certain things that were just really cool, but it wasn't good for us, and there's that peer pressure of our community, coming back to haunt us in the end. So I just want us to look at this thing differently and allow some room, space for people around you when they are like, I'm not feeling that, or I'm feeling this, or I want to do this, or I don't want to do that. I just might be allow them to do that and let that also be a cool thing, so that we don't end up self-sabotaging ourselves in that. But we are the coolest of the groups out here. I will say that. We absolutely are. And we know that. So those who say we have no culture, yeah. Yeah. I just laugh at that too. So what else do I have? That's pretty much it. And then I just want to say I have some books that I'm working on that one of them is close to being finished. I'm actually in the editing stage of it for my end before I actually send it to an editor. And the other one is still in raw stage. But I'm very excited about them. So they will be coming out soon. And let's see. Oh, I had one other point. Like I said, I am an entrepreneur. And being in business, like I said, a lot of us took a hit. Actually, during COVID, 50% of Black businesses went under during COVID. I don't know where it is now. Um, but I will say this. Here's my message on that. You're in business or whatever you're doing, whatever you are into, please look at so-called failure differently. Okay? How we see quote unquote failure is really key to how we can keep moving, keep going, and keep trying. Okay. So I have here see even a try as a win because you did something you didn't do before. And that any perceived failure, see that as a lesson learned. We hear that all the time. And also see it as a stepping stone. Okay. So I just want us to continue to be optimistic about what we're doing, how we're doing it, what we want to get into, what we are into, how we're growing, how we may not be growing at this moment. Maybe we are hurting in certain facets of our life and thriving in other facets. That's usually the balance that most people want. And sometimes people are just taking a hit literally almost in every area of their life. That happens as well. And sometimes people are just in their zone, and they're thriving. Everything they touch is gold. So I just want us to build on that mentality that there is no such thing as a failure. As long as once you lay your head down and you get up, you're on a winning track. So it's just a matter of, what decisions you'll make that day and how you see things. When I did this video or this audio earlier, I talked about doing some box breathing, breathing in 5, holding for 5, and exhaling for 5. And how deep breathing, if you do that, it brings everything down. It grounds your energy, and it just helps you to and see better and actually feel better as well. You'll definitely relax. So definitely practice some deep breathing on a daily basis. When I come back, I will have some other techniques you can use to help you get grounded. Sometimes some of us are a little too grounded, i.e. depressed. So this podcast is meant to uplift as well. So I do hope you appreciate some of these things that I've just touched on today. I'm pushing through this because I just have a feeling that the audio here is just so jacked that my voice is gonna continue to go in and out, and it's just not gonna be. I need the audio to be just so, but I'm working on it. So in closing, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much. Peace and blessings to each of you. And may your day and your evening shine brighter than your beautiful sun. Okay? So Ashe, this is Oracle Deborah. Appreciate you very much. Take care.